Hey guys, NicholasCentral here, and I have the Nintendo Switch 2. That's right, here's the controller in the grip. Yeah, so like I mentioned in the last video, I made a video in 2017 about the Nintendo Switch, and this is a sequel to that video. So let's get started. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. So like with the first system, you can connect the controllers to the screen and play it portably. But the difference here is that the controllers, they're magnetic. They connect with magnets. Ah, frick. Ah, frick. It shut on my fingers. It can be deadly. But yeah, here it is. Here's the system. The menu isn't all that different from the original, but there are a couple interesting differences. So let's take the controllers off. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Let's look through the menu. And as you can see, they have rounded corners now, which is cool. But the big thing is the eShop doesn't take hours to load now. And the other big thing is mouse control. Yeah, mouse control's pretty neat. And another interesting thing is that the rubber part of the joysticks is a little bit bigger, and I think that's just an interesting thing that... Oh, I'm getting a message. Oh, it's another death threat. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of these since I bought the Switch 2. People are very pressed about this situation. Now, the kickstand on the original Switch left a little bit to be desired.
And then when you connect the Joy-Con controllers,
and the Nintendo Switch OLED fixed that issue by giving it a big chunk of metal for the kickstand, which worked out very nicely. However, that big chunk of metal was not carried over into the Switch 2, as it's now a tiny U-shaped kickstand. And I was very curious as to why they made the decision to make it U-shaped. However, I then played Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, and it made me knowledgeable on a lot of other aspects on the system, including the kickstand. There's a very technical reason as to why there's a U-shaped kickstand, but I do not remember. Another thing is that the screen is not OLED with the Switch OLED, but it's still pretty good. It's hard to notice usually, so it's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. Now, one unfortunate side effect of the Switch 2 screen being bigger is that games like the Nintendo Labo VR kit do not work. And to me, that's very unfortunate because I really wanted to be playing the Nintendo Labo VR kit every day like I used to do. Another cool thing is that older games actually run better by default on the new Switch, for the most part. Some games have issues and they don't run. But here's a pretty good example of a game that runs a lot better. Yeah, the graphics are a lot better on this one. You know, the release buttons on the Switch 2 are actually a lot more satisfying than the original. Another death threat. So yeah, guys, that was my video about the Nintendo Switch 2. It's been, however many years it's been since 2017 in the making. So I hope it was all worth it. Alright, you think I don't know why you were all really here, huh? You think I was just gonna do a little cutesy review of the whole system? You think I'm just gonna do, oh, the buttons, they're pretty cool. Yeah, look at this, the grip has colors in it now. You think I was only gonna talk about that? You think that was my whole reason for making this video? Well, guess what? I don't need to talk about that. There's a real reason I brought you all here. That I forced you to watch this video. Okay. So here it is. Are you ready? Here's the real reason. The power brick. The power brick. It's smaller in width than the original. It's smaller. Yeah. See, that's the content that you watch this channel for. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're lying to you all. But I just had to get that out of the way. Wasted your time. I didn't even talk about the dock, really. I never docked it.